Welcome. Today we will be discussing what it means to do an extended essay in psychology. Now, an extended essay in psychology implies the opportunity to investigate one specific topic in much more depth than it is possible to do within the psychology classroom. It will allow you to develop your research, analysis, and evaluation skills. However, before you consider doing your extended essay in psychology, you must think about the prerequisites. You need to have a sound understanding of the subject and its methodology. This means understanding both concepts and correct terminology, and being able to understand external psychological research. Further, you need to make an adequate choice of topic based on psychological research and the way that it is performed. Now, once you have decided to do your extended essay in psychology, you need to initially choose a field. This means that you need to choose a specific field of psychology and ensure that you are only using secondary sources. This means there are no applications of your own. Then you need to refine your topic. You need to ensure that there are adequate resources available for whatever it is that you're researching. If you find out that there won't be enough research late into your essay, it could be tragic. Finally, you need to develop your question and thus create a focused and supported argument based on the research that you have found. Finally, once you get into the meat of the extended essay, you'll need to make sure that your research question is clear, specific, and derived from your understanding of the research. You need to create an academic context and justification for your topic. This means that you need to understand what the current state is for that research, what discussions are being raised, and why this topic is of importance to psychology in general. In analysis and discussion, you'll need to prove your understanding of psychological research in general. You'll need to understand the terminology, the theoretical concepts, and make sure that you're able to evaluate the findings, what they mean and what they imply, both for your question and for the field of psychology in general. Finally, you'll need to prove that you have critical thinking skills. You'll need to engage with research and consider methodology, context, bias, validity, and generalizability. The following is an example of an extended essay in psychology. The research question is, to what extent is preferred color choice acquired or innate in young children? Now, in order to approach the topic, the student has considered the fact that choice in children's clothing seems to have reverted from gender neutral to pink girls and blue boys. This would provide some possibility for research in terms of whether this is a social choice or innate predisposition. The student would need to evaluate published research and back up each of these types of explanation, whether innate or socialized. Finally, considering different cultural groups and considering different decades would provide additional information on whether this choice is innate or socialized, because if it changes over time or in different cultural groups, then it is clearly not innate. So, as the study of human behavior, psychology is a complex field with extensive applications. While it can be very exciting, it can also be very challenging. It will require deep knowledge of psychological theory and terminology. It'll require the ability to interpret, analyze, and evaluate research. It demands the capacity to link research findings with your questions and create relevant conclusions, not just for you, but for the field in general. And though it may be challenging, it gives you the opportunity to answer some of the most interesting questions our world has to offer. So think carefully.